What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Azura Game Club. Home of the Bad Girl Coven. We haven't done this for a while, but I have to talk, of course, about Life is Strange reunion here, which I got a PS5 finally to play this, and I just replayed through the other Life is Strange games more recently to get ready for Life is Strange Reunion ever since they kind of announced that that was coming and that was going to be a thing. I, was getting ready for it, and I love playing through the old games again. You can see my reviews on the channel. I covered those pretty well and whatnot, and there will be spoilers. Spoilers. Did I say spoilers yet? But there's going to be spoilers for Life is Strange Reunion. I'm going to try and keep it brief because I don't have like a ton of things to say, but just like TLDR, it was very positive. I feel like it really does feel like a sequel to Double Exposure, which I'm a little bit higher on. I feel like since my review, I was very confused in my review. I'm still a little bit confused about Reunion and its place in things and like certain things that happened. Spoilers, by the way. If I didn't say that already, spoilers. But a couple of things that I'm confused about is, and this is mostly because I made every single mistake you could make, and I didn't find any of the right people. It came down, okay, so there's the whole thing about Life is Strange Reunion is that Max and Chloe are back, right? And there's a fire, right? And that's gonna destroy Caledon, so you have to figure out like who's trying to set this fire and why they're setting it on fire and stuff. So, spoilers, by the way. The Abraxas house, which is like a main setting of the game outside of like Caledon and like the courtyard and stuff, which are like a big setting, and like Moses's like space office or whatever. And the turtle, of course. The turtle's back. Oh my god. Now there's gonna be ads. I forgot there's gonna be ads now, which sucks. Because I didn't want to pay for YouTube Premium. I just, I used YouTube for the... I should just get... Well, no, because then they're going to have ads on that too. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I fucked up. I fucked up bad. Vin died. I could have stopped that kid, but I didn't think it was him. I thought it was Joey, because that's who they were pointing to it being. It made the most sense that it was Joey. I also blame Sophie, which she killed herself, so that's just fucking great. So I really fucked up. I said I was gonna support her. I didn't know she was gonna kill herself, But, so everyone basically who could die or would die, died. I don't know how the fuck I was supposed to give the gas mask to the lady. I was probably supposed to go grab the gas mask and then talk to the lady, the security guard lady, but she died too. The fucking janitor dude, what a bro for leaving his cart right there so that when Chloe falls down, she'll fall into that. I was like... And Max did the whole Kate thing to like save Chloe. That was awesome. See, Max and Chloe, every moment that they're together is just great. But yeah, I fucked up. I accused Sophie. I should have accused Vin. He was the only other one on that list that I was like, I might accuse him. I know now. I was almost right. I took a 50-50 shot and I got it wrong. Just like when I played Life is Strange 1. I took a 50-50 shot. I sacrificed Arcadia Bay for Chloe because I love Chloe. And I was wrong. That was the wrong ending. Now, there is really only one good ending, again, is where Chloe and Max get out of it, but you have to basically save everyone, or you have to burn the photo yourself. So in this case, it's kind of like the original game where there's a photo where she can go back and she can potentially start over and try again or whatever. But this time it's Chloe's decision whether or not she gives that back to Max. And I chose to burn the photo, because I didn't need Max to go back there. And I think Max needs to learn, like, hey, we got to stop doing that, like jumping back, just trying to save people. Like, I was sad about Vin. Honestly, I know people hate Vin or whatever, but I was kind of actually honestly sad about Vin. Because I romanced him in the most recent playthrough. I didn't put that as my choice. I chose romance nobody except for Chloe, and then I chose Chloe dies, and support Safi, because that's what I had done in my first playthrough. I just did all of the things that I did in my first playthrough, except I lied because I did romance Amanda on my first playthrough of Double Exposure. Didn't put that in there because I wanted Chloe and Max to have the best chance of getting back together on my first playthrough. Next time around, I will see kind of what the differences are between that. And there is a lot of differences that are probably going to happen because there's a lot of branching paths and variations of stuff that you can do. And now that I know who to blame, that'll be fine, you know, and I'll get a better ending. But I've seen the other ending, it's fine. Anyway, I know the criticism is the game has felt a little bit short, and I kind of am there with people who have felt that the game was maybe a little bit short. For sure. Definitely, the no episodes thing was really weird. There was definitely, like, parts where you could tell that was the end of the episode. But they didn't go with that concept again, which is really strange for a Life is Strange game. And, obviously I don't like it as much as the original, or let's say Before the Storm, but I would put it maybe third on the list. I think that's fair. And then Double Exposure would be somewhere after that, and True Colors and 2 or whatever. 2 might come before. 2 definitely comes before Double Exposure. Double Exposure has its problems still. I do appreciate Amanda and Vin. I think they're great characters. But some of the stuff where you're just like sleuthing around and stuff is so boring, especially on a second playthrough. This game has a lot of that too. The whole point of the game is the sleuthing stuff. I don't know if I feel like I got all the answers that I wanted, but like, what was Safi's deal? Like, what was her plan? She never really had a plan, I guess. I mean, I should have saved her. I should have found a way to save her, and next time I'm gonna save Safi. I will do it. Oh my god, I hate these fucking commercials, dude. Fuck this shit, man. Fuck that. Anyway. So, but yeah, that was something I came out of Double Exposure with, is like, what's Safi's deal? And I don't know if I really still ever got a good picture of that. She just kind of fucks around the whole game as other people, you know, which is what she kind of did in Double Exposure too. And there was all this stuff with the Overlook and stuff, and I don't know if I really still understand about half of that. There was a lot of moments in this game too where Chloe and Max and like Moses are just trying to like figure out like what everyone remembers and like what actually quote unquote happened. And Chloe's like, I didn't get to experience that wasn't me. That Chloe wasn't me who experienced that week in Arcadia Bay, because they keep going back to that, the events of the first game. And I'm like, you're the only Chloe that did experience that. You're the Chloe who survived. Because the Chloe who survived is the one that's, you know, in this timeline or whatnot. I don't really understand. I guess if Chloe lives, she just kind of gets the experience of dying, and that would be a very interesting thing to see from the flip side, because I chose that she died, obviously, because I still maintain, even though we got a good and happy ending, and I'm happy for my babies that they got together, and they're great, and they're both alive, and everything's great, and I for sure thought that it was going to come down to having to sacrifice Chloe again, or sacrificing Max's powers. That was my theory, is that one of those was going to be kind of the solution to the problem here. But it didn't really end up being any of those, and the consequence system was a little bit more broad in terms of you're spending the whole game just trying to figure out who's behind these things. And I thought about Vin, but I definitely didn't want to say that it was Vin, because Safi was definitely doing more shady shit. And with the ending of the last game, I thought, okay, well, for sure, if Safi's trying to get this, like, superhero team together, which, like, by the way, doesn't go anywhere, that whole fucking plot, because they probably heard about how ridiculous people thought that was, and they just got rid of that whole thing. But, it's just very interesting to me that Vin would do it. What's his... Why is Vin doing that? To cover up the evidence for Yasmin, I guess? But, like, why did he care enough to do that? See, this is something on the next playthrough I'm gonna definitely say it was Vin, and then I'll go and confront him. I did notice, since I did blame Joey, he was not at the protest. So, I assume, had I blamed Ren, that he wouldn't have been at the protest, and that would have been fine. Also, though, Lucas was a lot more, pushing this protest than when I actually got there, than it was kind of being let on that Lucas would be doing. Everyone kind of made it seem like Lucas wasn't going to be a big deal, and he's all talk, no bark kind of thing. No bite, I guess it would be. But Amanda said the same shit about Ren, and I trusted Amanda, and look where that got me. So, still burn. Apparently you can prevent all of the fires if you're good enough, which, I mean, that's pretty cool. So, it's kind of like the Kate's death thing in the original game. I remember when I played that, and I texted my friend after that episode, and I'm like, man, that's so messed up. You know, I don't even know if I could have saved her. And he's like, well, you could have. And I'm like, you know what? I'm glad my first playthrough was not saving her. And, you know, in that sense, I'm still glad my first playthrough of this game was everything going fucking wrong, in a sense. So, you know, yeah. But it was fun. And I love seeing Chloe. Everything in this game looks so good, you know? It's a very good looking game. I did have this one, like, graphical glitch when I got to the Abraxas house when the party was going. And I thought it was honestly intentional because, you know, it's kind of like, and then later on, Max trips balls, of course. But I reset my PS5 and it was totally not intentional. But everything was, like, really white. And like, you know, I couldn't read, like, the little prompts and stuff half the time. But I just thought that was, like an aesthetic choice kind of thing. But it was not, so that was something. That was kind of a glitch in the game. But it's not glitchy or anything. That's the one thing I ever noticed, you know. Everything else looks really good. But this is like a really, really solid conclusion to Max and Chloe's story, and I'm really glad that we got that, you know. This is kind of, I feel like, what we were all hoping Double Exposure was going to be. And then, it's better that it wasn't that. It kind of set this game up so that this game could be great. But, I mean, you know, I don't think these later Life is Strange games are, like, as impactful as the original. The original will still always be the best to me, I think, alongside Before the Storm, and that whole original story is just so good. Even the characters in the game are super nostalgic for that week that they spent together. They keep talking about it because it's magical. It's just such a great thing, you know. They really nailed it on that first take, and this game is good though. It's very good. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed having Max and Chloe back together. Those were always the best moments of the game. But the problem is they split up a lot, you know? You don't really get to see Max and Chloe together all the time. I did like Chloe's kind of interactions with, like, Amanda, for instance. I kind of wish there was more options of talking to Amanda, especially about Max and their relationship and stuff. Maybe that would be if I like had romanced Amanda, that would be something that I could potentially do. Like, get more options for her to talk with Chloe, because I really think they needed to talk about that, because they have this nice little conversation before Chloe goes to see Max for the first time about Max, and Amanda doesn't know that's Max, but they never really get back to that. You know, there's like one little line at the end. Also, at the end, when you're like saying goodbye to everyone, I would like a proper goodbye for like Amanda and like Moses. It just kind of didn't feel like, hey, we're leaving now. We won't see you guys for a long time. Give her a hug! Give Moses a hug, for fuck's sake! I mean, that guy has been through the ringer helping Max, like, with her powers, and, like, I liked that, too, them kind of testing out the powers. Moses was a much bigger character in this game, and he was, like, really helping, like, lay up, you know, like, all the strings, and, you know, like, the You know, that kind of thing. Moses was super, like, big. And I liked him and Chloe, too. They're both kind of nerds, and they're nerding out together and stuff, and I thought that was great. I loved that when it was Max's birthday, and then Chloe's like, can I use the 3D printer to make her like the Super Max statue? And I'm like, oh, that's so, oh, be still my heart, you know, kind of thing. I thought it would have been cool if she had made like, I don't know, like a little blue butterfly for her or something that like she could put on her keyring or something. Oh, by the way, I liked the one Life is Strange 2 reference where you get the Porto Lobos keyring for Chloe. I guess there was probably other keyrings around because you could look at your keyring at the end of the game. That was the only one I actually found, but I missed probably a lot of the pictures and stuff. I don't know. It was my first playthrough. I didn't know how to make that Spaceman one happen at the very beginning of the game. It just wouldn't let me take it for some reason. But yeah, what else? It was never really explained how Max got her time powers back. That's just up in the air. You never really get a clear explanation for that. They really do a lot with the time powers. I mean, maybe not as much as the first game, but the standard rewind stuff, do puzzles with it, and rewind to talk to people with options that they said later, kind of thing. They definitely did a lot of that. So I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool. But um, yeah, like obviously Life is Strange 1 has an iconic soundtrack. This one was pretty good. The licensed songs were decent. I know they had like a couple of daughter songs in there and stuff. So and like Spanish Sahara from the original when like Chloe shows up. I wonder if it would have been Waterfalls or whatever the song is called. Obstacles. If I chose to have Chloe be alive, because that's what plays at the end of the first Life is Strange if you go with that ending. So I thought it was very respectful of all of that and all the endings, and Rachel got mentioned a couple times, and I like the little montage at the end there, was cool, and I like that they went back to Arcadia Bay. That was neat. It feels like a really positive ending, obviously people died, but and I was sad about Vin. I was sad about Safi too, but I don't know, for some reason Vin hit me the hardest, just because I romanced him last time, and I'm like, justice for Vin, man. Everyone hates Vin for some reason. I know he's a little flirty or whatever, but he's really cool, and I don't know, we need more Vin in this game, and more Amanda too. I mean, she was in the game a lot, but that's just it. I would have liked a little bit more of everything, and just a little, maybe some time to breathe, and there was a lot of times like that, so I don't know, maybe I'm just being picky. I liked their canoe scene when I tried to kiss Chloe, and I tried to do it both times, and then then you can't, so she holds her hand and she's like, Max Caulfield, did you just try to kiss me? And I'm like, yeah, I did. I'm guilty. And she's like, I did it twice and I had to rewind and stuff, and we fell into the lake, and it was just so cute. They're so cute together. I wish I would have gotten more of them together, That's the thing. I mean, they're just separate so many times throughout the game. There's that part where Max is like tripping balls or whatever. Apparently the Abraxas Society, their whole big thing is like they killed a kid back in the day, and like Yasmin was there, and that's like their whole secret. I don't know, that I don't know if that's like that's fine as their subplot. I mean, there's a lot of subplots in the game and stuff. I liked Loretta. She had a lot more to do in this game, young reincarnate Rachel or whatever the theory was. Reggie too. Reggie had a lot to do in this game as well. He was very much more of a character. So I liked him as well. I liked that they gave the characters all more to do. And it definitely felt like a very satisfying sequel to Double Exposure. Because that game was a little less satisfying, but it still had a lot of satisfying things to it. And a lot of that stuff was the characters. And those characters got kind of satisfying arcs and conclusions in this story. They were all very important to this story. Obviously I let a few of them die, but that was on me. I don't know, so That was my bad. But I'll get him next time, so. But yeah, it's a pretty short game. I beat it all today, pretty much. I did, like, a couple hours the other day, up until, when Chloe goes into the turtle. So, but, yeah, I mean... Oh, there's, like, a podcast, mechanic in this game. You could listen to podcasts at different points. That was okay, you know. I kind of like the moments of calm better, and I was kind of hoping for a few more of those. I really wish that would have been a thing, but you know, now it's like if you're trying to take a moment of calm, you just take a podcast, you know, break, you know, you use technology and rot your brain or whatever. So, but it was interesting. It was interesting to listen to Loretta's podcast and Lucas's podcast and stuff. So. Yeah, I liked it. I liked getting more of those characters. The soundtrack was alright. You know, the visuals were good. Photo ops were okay. You know, it was good though. I had a good time going back through. It's a nice little nostalgia trip for Max and Chloe, and it's a happy ending for them, you know, for the most part. Outside of a few more deaths. I honestly just don't know that Chloe was supposed to survive. You know what I mean? I feel in my heart of hearts that ending where Chloe dies in the bathroom, as sad as it is, I hate it too, but guess what? That's canon because the universe doesn't want Chloe to live. And they talk about that in this game a lot. And I like that she is allowed to live, but at the same time, I don't know that she should. You know what I mean? I wanted her to. As soon as she was like back on screen, I'm like, God damn it, I'm not going to be able to kill her again. You know, I'm not going to be able to do it. I just can't do it. I just felt it in my heart like I cannot kill Chloe again. I know I need to kill Chloe again, but I can't do it. And I didn't have to come up against that wall again, but I think probably she deserved to die in the bathroom. But she did get a second chance from the universe. So, I don't know. Maybe that's how it's meant to be. I like that it's a happy ending. I like that we've gotten to where we've gotten. But I'm just saying, the logical part of me, the universe needed to correct itself. A lot of this stuff... My theory is none of this would have happened if Chloe had just died in that bathroom. Although, because there's two alternate universes where she does die and where she lives, then, you know, that's the problem. That's... Max fucking around with time is the problem. And I think the universe gave Max her powers so that she could see, hey, Chloe needs to die. But then the universe was being gracious for once. You know, it's like, okay, we're going to sacrifice Caledon and a couple of its students, but you can have Chloe, like, if you want. You know, maybe you'll save Safi or some of those other people, but I liked it. I'm gonna give it a good score. I think I'm gonna give it like a high 8, like a 8.9, I would say. Yeah, maybe like an 8.7 out of 10. But I initial playthrough, I really did enjoy it, and I'm interested to go back and see on a different playthrough at a different time, because I'm not going to just go back and play it right now. I've got other games to play. I'm going to try and play the Fallout games, because we watched the show. Hey, maybe I should review the show whenever we finish Season 2. But I love Max and Chloe. I love that this was like a happy ending to their story. I love that they got to go through more trauma and emotional stuff, you know, and it was a very interesting game for them to do that in. And yeah, so I think for Life is Strange fans, and especially fans who have, you have to play Double Exposure, and you have to play the first 2 games, obviously. But anybody, oh, yeah, the backtalk mechanic, I didn't even talk about that. That's back. I failed. The only one I failed was with Ren, the most important one, of course. But I did all the other ones perfectly, so all the other ones are easy, and then they brought that back. So I like that they brought that back too, and that you kind of switch between Max and Chloe a lot. That was a really cool mechanic. Um, but yeah, it was a good sequel to Double Exposure. It's a good sequel to the original Life is Strange games. Um, you really don't have to play 2 or True Colors, but I really enjoyed it, and I hope you do too. So comment below and tell me all this stuff if you liked it or whatever, and stick around for more reviews, underrated games. I'll see you guys in the next one. Emily, out.